Meat fabrication techniques. The trimming. What is meant by the term trimming? It could imply removing excess fat off the outside of a meat item. It may mean removing heavy silver skin or collagen bands that that, 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 that that surround meat cuts. Some meat cuts may have bone connective tissues, which can be extremely tough and should always be trimmed. Another form of trimming is a shape is to shape a piece of meat by trimming off a small section to improve the plate presentation. Whenever a form of trimming, oh, um, whatever form of trimming, the fabricator needs to understand what the outcome should be. Boning. Boning a meat item can be intimidating and complicated. Understanding the basic bone structure of the meat enables the cutter to fabricate without guessing where the bones are located. The basic bone structure of beef, veal, lamb, pork, and many game meats is basically the same. Certain structures, such as those from the shank, are basic and simple to bone, whereas the bones from the pelvic region, neck, and spine can be difficult. Portioning cut. The portioning cut. The different portions require different techniques. Steaks and medallions should be cut straight up and down, whereas cutlets are often cut on a bias. When portion cutting, when portion cutting, be sure to cut across the grain to maximize tenderness. Trim levels can vary with the desired outcome. Leaving some fat is desired on grilling steak items, whereas a cutlet piece should be completely denuded before cutting. Bandsaw. A bandsaw may not be standard equipment for most kitchens, but it is found in restaurants that fabricate a large number of steaks or chops. Some restaurants dry age their beef cuts, and a saw would be required to portion those cuts. It allows a kitchen to change the way things are ordered, where before many cuts would have to be ordered as portion cuts. With a bandsaw, the kitchen can custom cut all the portions. Today, we find small table-sized saws that may make it practical for a restaurant to own a bandsaw. In any case, the bandsaw is a very dangerous piece of equipment and should always be used with caution. When using it, be sure that there are no distractions and understand the bone structure of the piece being cut. Be sure the blade is tightened correctly, assembled accurately, and is sharp. There are guards that can be used and the Kevlar hand protection to ensure safety. Grinding. Unlike a food processor, the grinder gives meat a unique texture. A restaurant may use the grinder to make custom sausages, unique stuffings, and force meats, or simply grind meat fresh for a quality burger. Grinding helps utilize many unusable trim that occurs when fabricating larger cuts, thereby increasing the profitability. When deciding to grind meat for a burger, sausage, or force meat, a proper step-by-step process should be followed. 1. First decide. Fuck. First, decide on the proper fat to lean ratio for the grind. A sausage will typically have a ratio of 70% lean to 30% fat, while a burger is generally 80% lean to 20% fat. However, recipes and fat levels can be customized depending on the desired outcome. 2. The cuts meat into a manageable size for the grinder. If using a small attachment to a mixer, then the pieces should be cut into 1 or 2 inch cubes. 3. Chill all the parts of the grinder and meat to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. If the meat or machine parts are warm, the fat may separate from the lean tissue and cause an off texture. Assemble the machine with the knife flat against the die and secure the faceplates, making sure everything is snug. 5. Push meat through the grinder at a rapid pace and do not allow the grinder to run without a steady flow of meat, for it will heat up rapidly. Do not overfill the grinder, which can slow the process. Some processes may require a progression grind or running the meat through multiple times and changing the die to progressively smaller holes between each grind. This ensures a fat to lean mix and a good texture for certain force meats. Clean the grinder immediately after using and be sure that there is no cross-contamination. Enhancing and tenderizing. The term enhanced meat generally means that the meat has been injected with a solution to increase the moisture content. This can be done by simply bringing the meat or using an injector. The typical solution for a commercially enhanced product would contain water, salt, and sodium phosphate. The amount of added ingredients must be placed on the meat packaging. Purveyors often refer to enhanced product as pumped. And tenderizing meats can be done either mechanically or chemically. A typical mechanical tenderizer would be a jacquard knife, which pierces the meat and breaks muscle fibers. A typical tenderizer would be a papade, which is derived from papaya and contains an enzyme that breaks down protein fibers. Adding acidic ingredients such as lemon juice to a marinade also helps break down muscle fiber. Vacuum packaging. Basic vacuum packaging instructions. 1. Place the item in a bag, allowing 2 inches of extra space. 2. Positioning the bag over the chamber so the open end is draped over the sealer bar, but still within the machine. 3. Set the vacuum pressure to the appropriate level of task. Most machines can be turned down for fragile items. 4. Close the lid and the machine will automatically equalize pressure, vacuum out air, and seal the bag. 5. Place a label with the product name and package date on the bag.